I got amazing news. Patch 021 promised us new Socketables, and they have shown us some of them, and they'll 100% have me log back in and make a new character. In case you missed it, the upcoming plans for patch 0210 has the endgame rewards, unique items, crafting Socketables, rituals, corrupted essences, a lot of things being reworked. And namely, we're promised 22 new runes, 14 new soul cores, and 7 new talismans that drop from the Azermian spirits. All of these new runes will be world drops only, so you can't upgrade into them. And the very first one is the Hedwig Assandra's Rune of Wisdom. Wand or staff, +1 to level of all spell skills. This is my Detonate Dead Witch. She currently does not have anything in her volatile wand. Well, guess what? +1 to all spell skills wouldn't actually fit there. But if there's a +1 to all spell skills, we'll get +1 to all minions, +1 to all melee, +1 to all projectiles. I would be heavily surprised if this is the only +1 rune, especially since we're getting 22 new runes. Really loving this for the endgame, that you're not only relying on a good weapon drop, no, you can also get these runes to make it even more amazing. And let's not forget that I could corrupt my one to get another socket for 2 of these new runes. Next one would be the Rune of the Chase, which gives 5% increased movement speed. Nothing too special, but if you're already sitting at +25, +30 boots, and then get another 5% bonus, that's fantastic for every single character. My Smith of Kitava is going to love this. He's fully resistance out by simply existing because of how the passive of the Smith of Kitava works. But therefore, I don't even have a socket in my boots yet, or my gloves, or even corrupted anything to get more sockets potentially. Nice. And if we're getting movement speed for boots, what about gloves? That would probably then be attack speed, cast speed. Would perfectly make sense if they want to give us something for the end game. And I'd love to get bonus attack speed on my gloves. But they're also thinking in a different direction. 10% of damage is taken from mana before life. This is for your body armor. Considering that Grim Feast is still deactivated and there's no word of it yet coming back, being able to take damage from mana before life, and that with 3 possible sockets on your body armor, sounds pretty damn good for me. Now these are only 3 of 22 new runes. That being said, obviously +1 minions etc, so it's like only 16 runes left that we haven't heard about. Still though, I'm quite excited to see what will come, but most importantly, let's hope the drop rate is actually good, because all of these runes again are world drops only. And if I have to farm so long for them, if I'm level 90 and then I start dropping them, I want to get them up to level 90, right? As soon as I enter maps, they should start like dropping for me. And I should get them whenever I kill a boss on a map, something. Please make it all often. They are only fun if you actually get them early, especially the movement speed one. If I get that one late, well, great, I'm done with the game. Now, what about soul cores? They're obviously for later, because we'll have to spam the Trample of Chaos for this. It says Helmet. Enemies you curse have 8% reduced chaos resistance. Okay, if you play a curse build, that's quite useful. And there will be 13 further ones that will then enhance different abilities. But if we have something that reduces chaos resistance, I guess there might be one for every element then. Additional -2 fire resistance, poison, whatever. Mentioning poison though, there's something really interesting coming. And that would be 7 new talismans from the Azermian wisps. So far, they have not been dropping for me much, nor have they been worth it. Now though, with a talisman of Thraldana, this is for a martial weapon, 25% reduced poison duration, but targets can be affected by +1 of your poisons at the same time. I know there's a support for this already, but having this on your weapon, and then having this on your weapon twice, will reduce the poison duration further, but you can put so much more poison on the enemy. And that's 1 of 7 possible ones. Again, thinking about what else has me quite excited, and might open up the world for builds to become more viable, or finally really viable in the endgame, as poison builds might feel like they fall off into the endgame. But this is then meant for something into the endgame that when you reach mapping and when you go further, you finally have something to enhance what your build actually does. and not just simply get 7 to 11 fire damage or 16 mana per enemy killed. 5 more cold damage, yay, right? Something really cool and exciting, build enabling, build defining. The last sentence though has me concerned. As you can see from these crafting Socketables we have shown, the power ceiling from Socketable is being raised. As these are also intended to be valuable chase drops, you shouldn't expect to find these trivially. These are rare and they're intended to be mid to long-term character upgrades that you can do incrementally as you play deeper and deeper into the endgame. For me, this sounds like, hey, so if you're level 90 and you actually grind towards 100, you'll get them to then improve your character further. But let's be real, most people play maybe to 90 and then actually end it. Yes, there are the ones, I admire you, that actually push to 100. I do not have the will for this. We've got a lot more coming in patch 021, which we are still working on. Later this week, we'll also show some of the new unique items that have been released in the update. Despite our attempts to have 021 ready for deployment this week, we do need a little bit of extra time, so we have shifted it to the following week. Bit later, but hopefully even more of a banger. It feels like they're trying to get something in there. Not just new uniques and new Socketables, something meaningful content-wise, where people are like, log in Exiles, we gotta do it. Let's not forget, 021 is more than just that. We get in-game reward reworks. We get those new unique items they mentioned, even though we also need to talk about unique drop rates. This was just the crafting Socketables now. Rituals being reworked. Rogue Exiles are finally being there more often. Expeditions overhauled because they're not too amazing and hot right now. And then in general, an endgame content and variety improvement, because out of 400,000 generated maps, 150,000 of them are going to be hidden grotto. I noticed that the variety is not really there. My favorite change so far being definitely that citadels are going to be spawning as triplets now. If you get one on your atlas, there's always going to be Citadel 2 and Citadel 3 spawning that you can then straight away jump to the Arbiter. I still feel like all the other endgame activities should give you more stuff, that a ritual is really dropping more audience with a king, that you're getting more breach splinters and that kind of stuff, because sometimes it can feel like too long until you meet the other bosses. I know they're meant to be the endgame chase, but at least meeting the +01 and not going for +1, +2, +3, like right for the hardest version, just the standard version. And I do believe a lot of people are looking forward to a bigger rework of the Trials of Sekhmet. I've personally gotten to enjoy it, even though it can be really frustrating to almost reach the final boss and then get everything ruined by one bad affliction. That being said, I just hate the Temple of Chaos, so Trials of Sekhmet is my only option. What do you say now, chat? Does this have you excited? Does this look cool for you? Are you like, damn, son? Damn. I need to lock in now. Tell me in the comments below. Also, if you want to see the rest that's coming with this patch, here's the prior video about patch 021. Enjoy. Have a good time.